Good morning, everyone. I want to start with a simple question. How many of you want to change your life, to achieve things that are beyond your current reality? If you're like most people, your answer is probably yes. But here's the reality. Change doesn't come from motivation alone. It doesn't come from grand ideas or exciting dreams. It comes from something much more consistent, much more subtle, and yet incredibly powerful. It comes from self-discipline. Self-discipline is the unsung hero of success. It's not the flashy skill we like to talk about, but it's the one that ultimately transforms us. And if you're looking for a way to change your life, to achieve something extraordinary, then you need to start with this, the foundation of everything, self-discipline. Now let me clarify something before we go any further. Self-discipline is not about restriction. It's not about saying no to everything you enjoy. It's not about punishing yourself. It's about alignment. It's about understanding your why. Why do you want to succeed? Why do you want to make that change? Self-discipline is what allows you to align your actions with that deeper purpose. It's the bridge between intention and reality. If you look at any person who has achieved something great, whether it's Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, or anyone who stands out as a leader, you'll notice something. They didn't get there by just thinking big thoughts. They got there because they showed up day after day. They put in the work. And this is what self-discipline does for you. It's the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. You see, self-discipline isn't about doing everything at once. It's not about going all in and burning yourself out. Instead, it's about small, consistent actions over time. It's about the daily commitment to show up, to do the work, even when the results aren't immediate. This is what sets apart the people who succeed from those who don't. It's the ability to show up when it's hard, when it's inconvenient, when it's uncomfortable. Think about it like this. It's easy to say yes to the things that feel good in the moment. The late night snacks, the Netflix binge, the instant gratification that so many of us crave. But self-discipline is about delaying that instant pleasure for something greater. It's about saying no to short-term satisfaction in favor of long-term success. That's the art of delayed gratification. The discipline to make decisions today that your future self will thank you for. And here's the beautiful part. When you practice self-discipline, you also build something else, mental toughness. Every time you push through a difficult moment, every time you resist a temptation or commit to something even when it's hard, you're strengthening your mind. You're building resilience. And over time, your willpower grows stronger, your decisions become clearer, and you find that what once felt like a challenge becomes part of who you are. But self-discipline doesn't just affect one area of your life. It has a ripple effect. The habits you form around self-discipline extend into every part of your life. You begin to notice that your personal growth accelerates, your relationships improve, and your professional life starts to align with your goals. You see, the more disciplined you become, the more focused you are, and the more your world starts to transform. So how do we start? How do we begin to harness the power of self-discipline in our lives? It's simple. Start small. Choose one area where you want to improve and commit to it every single day, whether it's your health, your career, or your personal development. Commit to showing up, and when things get tough, and they will get tough, remember your why. Remember the reason you're doing this in the first place. Self-discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about making the choice to align your actions with your values every day, no matter what. When you start practicing self-discipline, you will change. And when you change, the world around you will change too. Self-discipline is often considered the bedrock of success. It is the driving force behind consistent progress and achievement. And without it, even the most promising talents and brilliant ideas can fall short. In its simplest form, self-discipline is the ability to make decisions and take actions that align with our long-term goals, values, and vision, rather than yielding to immediate desires or distractions. When we talk about success, we're often focused on the flashy outcomes, the big wins, the accolades, the moments that seem to define someone's greatness. However, behind those moments, there is always a story of self-discipline. It's the quiet daily commitment to pushing forward, even when no one is watching, even when the results are not immediately apparent. Self-discipline is the difference between those who accomplish their dreams and those who fall short. It is not about how hard you work in short bursts or how much energy you put into a project in the beginning. It's about your ability to keep going even when things get difficult, boring, or discouraging. When you break down the journey of any successful person, it becomes clear that they didn't get there by chance. They got there by showing up consistently, day in and day out, through the grind and through the quiet, persistent effort that ultimately compounds into something significant. Consider someone like a professional athlete. It's easy to admire them when they're standing on the podium or winning a championship, but what we often forget is the daily routine of training, discipline, and sacrifice that goes into that achievement. There is no shortcut to success. In fact, it is often the act of doing the small, seemingly insignificant tasks with diligence that leads to the breakthrough moments. These athletes practice for hours each day, pushing their bodies to the limit, focusing on technique, recovery, and growth. The discipline they exhibit to repeat these actions, even when the results are not immediately visible, is what ultimately shapes their career and ensures long-term success. The same principle applies to entrepreneurs, leaders, students, or anyone striving for excellence. It's easy to become excited about a new project or idea at the start, but the real test comes when the initial excitement fades. When obstacles arise, when the going gets tough, and when progress seems slow, it is the strength of your self-discipline that will determine whether you succeed or give up. The process of making small, smart decisions consistently despite setbacks is what ultimately separates the achievers from the dreamers. Self-discipline is also a reflection of self-respect and self-love. When we are disciplined, we demonstrate a commitment to our future selves. We prioritize long-term happiness and success over the fleeting pleasure of procrastination or indulgence. This commitment to our own well-being and growth becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. As we achieve small wins, it boosts our confidence, and with that confidence, we are empowered to pursue even bigger challenges. In conclusion, self-discipline is not just a skill, but a mindset. It is the foundation on which all success is built, whether it's personal, professional, or academic. It's not glamorous, and it doesn't get the attention that big victories do, but it is the most reliable predictor of success. When we embrace self-discipline, we are not just setting ourselves up for short-term achievement, but for a lifetime of growth, fulfillment, and meaningful success. The importance of understanding the why behind self-discipline cannot be overstated. Many people struggle with discipline because they focus solely on the what and the how. What do I need to do? How do I make it happen? While these questions are important, they often overlook the most crucial aspect of self-discipline, the deeper, underlying reason behind the effort. If you don't know why you're practicing self-discipline, you will struggle to maintain it, especially when things get tough. To truly embrace self-discipline, you need to start with a clear and compelling purpose. When you understand why a particular goal or behavior matters to you, why it aligns with your values and vision, it becomes much easier to make the right decisions, even in the face of temptation or difficulty. Think of it this way: self-discipline without a clear why is like trying to drive a car without knowing where you're going. You may have the energy to start the engine, but without a destination, you'll quickly lose motivation and direction. For example, consider someone who wants to get fit. If their only motivation is the desire to look good, they may find it hard to stay consistent when they don't see immediate results or when they are tempted by unhealthy foods. But if their why is deeper, if they want to feel more energized, improve their health, and be there for their loved ones in the future, they will be far more committed to the process, even when things get challenging. The strength of their why drives them through moments of doubt, making the sacrifices and tough choices much easier to bear. Understanding your why also creates a sense of ownership over your actions. When you know why you are choosing to be disciplined, you begin to see it as an empowering decision rather than an obligation. Self-discipline then becomes something that is aligned with your core beliefs and values, not something that feels like a restriction or a chore. It is rooted in a sense of purpose that is personally meaningful, which makes it much easier to stick with in the long run. Additionally, having a strong why makes the journey more fulfilling. When the road is tough, when you feel exhausted, and when the results seem distant, remembering why you started can reignite your motivation. It's not just about pushing through for the sake of accomplishing a task. It's about achieving something that matters to you on a deeper level. That deeper connection transforms your relationship with discipline from something burdensome to something that fuels you. In the world of personal growth and achievement, the why is what makes discipline sustainable. Without it, you will likely quit when faced with the inevitable challenges. But when your discipline is rooted in a profound reason, it becomes a tool for progress, growth, and lasting success. The deeper the connection to your purpose, the more your self-discipline will be guided by conviction, not just willpower. So as you set out to develop self-discipline in your life, always return to your why. Let it be the anchor that keeps you grounded when the winds of temptation and doubt threaten to knock you off course. When we think about self-discipline, it's easy to focus on the big, intense bursts of effort we often associate with success. The long hours, the late nights, the grand gestures of determination that seem to signify true commitment. But the reality is, it's not these monumental efforts that determine long-term success. It's the small, consistent actions that we take day in and day out. This is where the true power of self-discipline lies. The ability to be consistent, not just when it feels easy, but especially when it feels difficult, is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. Consistency in self-discipline is far more important than intensity. In fact, intensity without consistency is often unsustainable. We've all experienced those moments where we dive into a new project or goal with overwhelming enthusiasm, committing to a radical change. But over time, that initial excitement fades, and the hard work becomes more challenging. Without consistency, it's easy to fall off track and lose momentum. On the other hand, small, consistent actions, even if they seem insignificant at the moment, compound over time and lead to massive results. Think of it like planting a tree. In the beginning, you might not see much growth above the ground, but if you water it consistently and care for it every day, over time, the tree will grow tall and strong. Similarly, self-discipline is not about doing everything perfectly from the start, but about committing to regular, disciplined actions that will eventually lead to significant growth. The key is showing up every single day, even when progress is not immediately visible. This is particularly relevant when pursuing long-term goals. So when you're working towards something meaningful, whether it's building a successful career, improving your health, or learning a new skill, it's easy to become discouraged if you only measure your progress by big milestones. But real, lasting success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of countless small decisions to keep going, to keep working, to keep pushing forward. Whether it's writing a page of a book every day, exercising for 20 minutes, or working on a business idea for an hour each evening, those small actions done consistently will ultimately lead to major transformations. Consistency also builds habits. The more consistently you practice self-discipline in any area of your life, the more it becomes ingrained in your routine until it becomes second nature. Over time, these habits no longer require as much mental effort. They become part of your identity. And at that point, self-discipline isn't something you have to force. It's something you do without thinking. The beauty of consistency and self-discipline is that it doesn't require perfection. You don't need to get everything right every time. You just need to keep showing up. Some days will be harder than others, and some days you might fail. But the key is getting back up and continuing to do the work no matter what. It's this unwavering commitment to small, consistent actions that leads to lasting success. So when you think about developing self-discipline, don't focus on doing everything all at once or trying to be perfect from the start. Instead, focus on making small, consistent choices that align with your goals. Over time, these choices will add up, and you'll look back amazed at how far you've come. One of the most important aspects of self-discipline is the ability to delay gratification. In a world where instant rewards are just a click away, whether it's scrolling through social media, grabbing fast food, or binge-watching TV shows, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking immediate pleasure. Yet self-discipline is all about making choices that serve your long-term vision, even if it means sacrificing short-term satisfaction. The power to delay gratification is a fundamental trait of disciplined individuals and a key factor in achieving lasting success. When we delay gratification, we're essentially choosing future fulfillment over immediate pleasure. This might seem counterintuitive in a society that promotes quick fixes and instant rewards. However, the ability to resist short-term temptations is often what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't. It's about understanding that the choices you make today have a ripple effect on your future. While it's easy to indulge in the quick pleasures of today, those same choices can prevent us from experiencing the more significant, lasting rewards that come from sustained effort and patience. Consider the example of someone working toward a health goal, such as losing weight or building muscle. In the short term, it may feel easier to skip a workout or indulge in unhealthy food because the pleasure is immediate. However, if that person consistently chooses discipline over immediate satisfaction, resisting the urge to skip a workout or opting for a healthier meal, they are investing in their future self. The rewards of this discipline may not be evident right away, but over time, these small decisions compound into significant health improvements and personal achievement. This principle extends beyond health and fitness. It applies to almost every area of life, from financial success to professional growth to personal development. Take someone working toward a career goal, for example. The desire to reach the top may be strong, but the path to success is rarely instant. There will be countless moments of delayed gratification, such as working late nights, sacrificing weekends, or passing up short-term rewards rewards like vacations or luxury. However, those who can stay focused on the long-term vision, prioritizing effort over immediate pleasure, are more likely to see the payoff in the future. Learning to delay gratification also requires cultivating patience. It's easy to expect quick results, especially in a world where so much is available on demand. But real success doesn't happen overnight. It's a result of consistently making choices that align with your long-term goals, even when those choices feel uncomfortable in the moment. This could mean taking the time to develop a new skill, sticking with a financial plan even when it feels like progress is slow, or pushing through challenges in a relationship rather than giving up when things get hard. Ultimately, delayed gratification teaches us that the best rewards come to those who have the patience to wait for them. It's about choosing to take the harder road today to ensure a better tomorrow. The more you practice this, the stronger your self-discipline will become. Over time, delaying gratification becomes less about willpower and more about a shift in mindset. You begin to view the delayed rewards as more valuable than the fleeting pleasures of the present. This is the essence of true self-discipline, knowing that the best is yet to come. In conclusion, self-discipline is not just a skill. It is a mindset, a commitment to aligning our actions with our deeper values and long-term goals. It's about understanding our why, showing up consistently even when things get tough, and having the patience to delay immediate gratification in pursuit of a greater, more meaningful future. The beauty of self-discipline is that it isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's the small daily choices we make that ultimately define our success, not the grand gestures or fleeting moments of motivation. As you move forward in your journey, remember that discipline is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes, and as it strengthens, so will your ability to create lasting change in your life. So, ask yourself, what is the vision for your future, and what small steps can you take today to get there? The path to greatness is never a straight line, but with self-discipline as your guide, it's a path you can always stay on. The question is not whether you can achieve greatness, but whether you have the courage and commitment to show up every day, no matter what. Your future is waiting for you. It's time to start building it, one disciplined decision at a time.